there, and welcome back to the NCMU podcast. My name is Bubba Stallcup, CEO, president, and founder of Love Thy Nerd. And here at the NCMU podcast, we are dedicated to raising up and equipping the next generation of nerd culture ministers and missionaries. And in order to do that, on this episode, I've got my friend, DeadlyDill. Do you want me to dox you, or we not doxing? What are we doing?
We can
mini
do
docs.
Mini docs. Dylan's fine. Yeah. So that way people don't know my name is not for pickles.
You guys may or may not know Dylan from online, DeadlyDill Gaming, and a lot of places. But Dylan is doing a lot of really great things in online community spaces. He's got stuff like 200 plus viewers on his live streams, multiple first-time professions of faith in his Bible studies that he's hosting on his gaming platform, live streaming. For those of you that don't know, Twitch, that's what it is. A lot of IRL stuff, but it's mainly for gamers, right? So twitch.tv/DeadlyDill Gaming. We'll have all those information and links in the show notes below. And a booming Discord server, which is kind of probably what we're going to hone in the most on this episode, that gets closer and closer to 4K every day. Like, every day. Scary how those numbers just keep rising, right? So, hey, Dylan, dude, welcome to the show. Welcome to NCMU. We've been trying to get this going for a while.
Yes. Finally here after 50,000 different reschedulings. We are finally here.
Even this morning, I was like, hey, man, just like checking in.
I was worried too. I was like, there might be a possibility, but we pulled through and we made it happen.
Yeah, so I was ready to reschedule. Like I combed my hair and did everything, but just in case, and we try to stay flexible. And even I'm looking at a play mat right here that has your face on it.
No way. Wow, dude, that's insane.
Like roughly 4 years ago.
That's right. Yeah.
Like somewhere in that neighborhood where we had the chance to meet in person, and we just couldn't make it happen. But I'm glad that we have it now. What people may not know is you and I not that far from each other.
No, we literally, I think, are like an hour and a half.
Maybe an hour. Like, I'm probably closer to you than I am the airport, if I'm being honest.
Which is, that'd probably be true. 100%. Yeah. Which is wild.
But, like timing and scheduling and all sorts of stuff. You guys know how it is. Like, Dylan's got 4 kids. I've got 4 kids. We both got a lot of things going on. We were talking a lot before we started rolling here, just kind of about the chaos that is a family of, what accounts to a family of 6 with 4 kids. But hey, maybe all that for a different time for you guys. Today, we're talking about community. Right? NCMS 2026. We want to take your ideas and move them forward into something that you can actually do, people can experience, and ultimately the kingdom of God is spread as wide as it can be because of that. And one of the things that we struggle with the most when we're trying to build these movements is a community, because like an idea without a movement is stagnant. It doesn't go forward. You may take it forward a little bit, but then it just kind of fizzles out. So Dylan is absolutely destroying things in this area. And if your head's getting big, Dylan, it needs to, bro. Like I know specifically, all right, I have talked to our now, director of community engagement, Luke Filipiak. He has spoken with you about consulting with us, Love Thy Nerd, on growing our community and how do we help engage people with that. And I'm excited about that, dude. Like I'm jazzed about it. So let's kind of hop into this. Before we get into any of the amazing stuff that you've been doing in community space, like how did you even get into the streaming game? Like what did that look like? And what are some of the things that brought to you where you are now, actually?
So I was a youth pastor for 9 years in Louisiana, and the first
Get out, dude.
Yeah. So I was youth pastor total for 13 years total, actually, from California, but Louisiana was like, I was there for almost 10 years, actually, more so on the 9 side. And during my second year there, I was like, man, like, I don't really have, like, California to Louisiana was a big culture shock already. I didn't have a lot of friends, and especially even as a pastor too, there's only, so many friends you can make at your church because you gotta, you're pastor. And so you gotta, make sure that you stay that kind of role with a lot of people. But I had a youth leader who actually, was a big gamer. He was like, dude, you should try streaming. Like, just see, I was like, man, I should try it out. Let's see. And I tried it in the middle of 2019. I was like, I don't have the right stuff. Like, this is just not working out well. So like, I kind of gave up on it. And then towards August of 2019, I was like, you know what? Let's go for it. Like, I hear people making friends through gaming all the time. I kept seeing like videos, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, what if I could make some great friends that are gamers too, and just go for it. So I started streaming and had a good time with it, and just chilling. I literally, I had an Xbox, like original OG Xbox One, with like a 17-inch, not even HDMI monitor. I had to convert from VGA to HDMI. That's where we're vibing, and we're streaming right on the Twitch app on Xbox. So we were doing good, and it's funny enough, it's crazy. When we hit affiliate in the first month. Like it was pretty awesome. I was like, all right, Lord, like this is weird. But I wasn't even like thinking about using it for ministry at all at that point. I was just very much like, let's have some fun with this and let's grow it. And then I came across, as I kept streaming, I came across like a couple other streamers that were like professing their faith on stream. I was like, really? Like, people are using streaming and video games to reach people for Christ? Let's try it out. And I was like, okay, let's go for it. Yeah, let's see if this works. And lo and behold, as we kept going and growing, like it blew up. And then COVID happened, which was such a crazy opportunity for a lot of people who are wanting to be in this space. And I was like, okay, if I want to grow, like, let's try to go where the people are. And so TikTok wasn't even on the radar for a lot of gamers at the moment. I said, no, let's go and try TikTok. Let's see I'm having zero success with Instagram or anything. Let's go use TikTok and try to see if we can get some growth and get some following. Blew up in the first week I used TikTok to 10,000 followers from just doing voiceovers and like silly content. I wasn't even Christian focused really at the moment as far as like reaching people for Christ, but I was building this following. And then all of a sudden, as this grew, and then I started getting connected with more Christians that were gamers, I was like, okay, God, let's start implementing my faith a little bit. And then started more so like introducing myself as that I was a pastor, and that so when people hopped in the stream, they knew what I was about. Prayed for people at the end of every stream. So it started very mild, and then it started growing and growing and growing to the point of like, dude, we had salvations happening, and this was like 2020, 2021. Salvations happening. It was very, very much evangelistic approach. I was building community, but I was really out there just being like, I just want to tell people about Jesus. I'm going after it. Here we go. And it just kept growing and going. And then, I took a little bit break in 2022 and 2023 to I started a multimedia company, a social media marketing company. And so did that. And so I was kind of doing streaming. Streaming took a little bit of back burner, but then the Lord opened up like such an amazing opportunity this past year to get back into it. And I was like, all right, God, what do we do? How are we going to do this? I want to do it better than before. I don't want to just build like a streaming platform. I want to build community. I don't want to just do video game content anymore. I don't want to just sprinkle you in. I don't want to just do a little prayer, which was fine. I mean, we still saw, even with just that, we saw about 70 people come to Christ just from me playing Warzone when it first came out. Like, it was crazy time, crazy thing to see the Lord do. But I was like, God, I want to do something more. I want to do something for the body of Christ. And I want to do something not only for the body of Christ, but something that also causes the body of Christ to want to go do the same thing. To like feel empowered, like, man, gaming can like change people's lives. And, I won't go more into it because we'll probably talk about more, but then just here we are today. Like, the Lord has just kind of taken us through, but it's all started because funny thing we're talking about it, I wanted a community. Yeah. I started it because I wanted a community, and now in the process, we created a community that's literally just seeing people come to Christ, grow their faith, and everything like that. So it started with a desire for community, and then it just grew for a desire to want people to know God. And then it grew from that to knowing God, but then also having community with each other. And so it's been a bit of evolution over this past 6 years, but the Lord has definitely taken us through it, and is just doing something astronomically more than I ever thought possible. I didn't even want to do this at one point.
It's interesting. Well, I think we all go through that, if I'm being honest. We start with the highest and altruistic of aspirations, right? Look at all this good that I'm going to do. And then the streaming turns into a job. It turns into the grind. I gotta be on this for this long, and I gotta play this, and it's cult of the new and chasing, and that's a financial burden. So then it kind of transfers that burden onto your viewers and like all sorts of stuff, right? Like, it's always the chase of a thing, and you kind of can lose sight of what you even started doing it for. Which I think is very interesting that you said you started streaming, not necessarily to like be this massive outreach project, but it was like, Jaboy needs friends, right? Like I need people to be able to hang out with. You said you're a youth pastor.
Yep.
I cannot even begin to tell you how many people in this space that we've had on this podcast, myself and Mark included, have been youth pastors, right? Like
it's crazy to think about.
It's it is a common denominator, and it's also kind of a frustrating common denominator, if I'm being honest with you, because excuse me, because what it does is it takes the narrative that this is already a thing for like young men and children and all sorts of stuff, and it perpetuates that narrative. And I hate that.
Yep, like I agree, 1,000%.
1,000 sons, I hate it. But I'll be danged if it ain't true, right? Like it does ring true. So I thought that was really interesting, and I don't really have a follow up question. It's just like, you and everybody else, right?
Or some sort of ministry that wasn't like. I don't think I've run into anyone who was like, I'm a senior pastor, and I decided to go, decided to go digital ministry. It's like, no, I have yet to do that, but it's very much like youth pastors, children's pastors, even some media directors I've heard. Just a lot of different, people who were in ministry that may not have felt the call to maybe go further in it. Cause like for me, I didn't want to be a senior pastor at all. I saw it, to be honest, like, and it's not because I don't have the heart to do it. It's just more so like, I just didn't feel like that was where I needed to end up. And, I was like, I can deal with you students sometimes too, because even it's like they're teenagers, they're going to be ignorant, like understand we got to guide them, we got to lead them, and we have to lead adults too. But it was like those times that I saw, my senior pastor have to deal with like the same things over and over again. I was I don't know if I want to deal with that because I'm a little too blunt when it comes maybe to adults. And so the church would probably empty more than fill. So, but I think over time though, the Lord has really worked on me in that kind of area as far as like shepherding in a pastor's heart and stuff like that. Cause I was very much gung-ho evangelist. Like, you're going to know about Jesus. And if you don't believe it, that's cool, but you're going to know, I'm going to tell you right now who Jesus is. And then it kind of like, I'm still that way, but I'm very much more now, like, especially with the community that we built, very, very like shepherding and very like, okay, let's help and lead guide these people as well. Because some of them don't have churches they go to. We may be the only Jesus they see throughout the week until they find a local church. Like we want to. So anyway, and it's just funny to see again, like you said, there's a lot of people who start out in ministry and they're like, the digital space is like it's massive. There's so much room for people to step into and to reach people for Christ. Like you don't have to be in church ministry to do it. Like, and that's something I found out. I was like, man, I feel like I got to be in church ministry to really be any sort of effectiveness. Like that's how my thought process for a long time. And then I saw what this happened. I'm like, dude, this is like the most untapped mission field in the entire world. Like we got plenty of people, to be honest, there's a lot of missionaries everywhere else, which is great. We need to still send people to those places that need Jesus. But it's like, there's such a need in the digital space, like for people to proclaim the gospel, do ministry on all kinds of levels. And I think that's why it's so attractive to a lot of people who are in the church space, because it's almost like this final frontier of like missions. And it's so cool to see people come to Christ. And and to be honest, it's a lot of effort to do, but it's, man, dude, I can pop onto Apex right now, play a game with two randoms from like different states and witness to them and pray for them. And that's it. I don't have to do the saving. I just need to be able to witness. And so that's just the cool opportunity. And I think that's why a lot of church people who worked in ministry are attracted to doing this, because the opportunity to actually be the hands and feet of Christ on a huge, massive level is so appealing.
Well, we talk a lot about the space that we are actually in versus the space that we've been trained that we are going into. Right. And so I like the idea of, like when you're building something, like specifically a house or a structure, there are architectural plans, and then, there are the contractors that come in and actually build the thing. And so an architect may put a staircase that leads into a wall, and the contractor says, you can't do that. There's a wall there. And so I think that a lot of times we as the church are like, no, like the staircase is supposed to go right there. Well, okay. but the sun sets over there, so there needs to be a wall and not, a door frame or a window or whatever. Like
right.
the building has to change. No. That's where the staircase goes. Mm-hmm. And so understanding that, like, you are not here are the architectural plans, right? Like, you are supposed to go and talk to somebody and they're going to accept Jesus right then and there.
Right.
The
100%.
as built, the contractor plans are like, there's a wall there. Like that person right now is not going to accept. Maybe down the line you blow that wall out and you put a window or a door, but right now there's a wall there. And so, like, helping people to understand that the community aspect, right, the long-term aspect, setting things up so that the next person that comes behind you, like your daughter.
My daughter right just now, right? Really just came in. Baby girl, what you doing? This is the 3-year-old I was talking about. Can you say hello?
Bro, my kids are in the other room right now watching Wednesday. Hey.
Can you say hi?
Hi.
Can you go watch some of Mama Dada has to do this, okay? I love you.
Hey, if that's not enough reason for somebody to watch this instead of let's do it on a podcast, I don't know what it is.
There it is, 100%. The cutest thing in the world.
But yeah, I mean, like, to get back to that point real quick, and we'll move on. But like the idea that, hey, we are trained as the church that when you talk to somebody and you evangelize, right? Evangelism is a one-stop shop. There's no time built into evangelism. There's no relationship built into evangelism.
Right.
We make space for Christian community, but we don't make space for people to experience Christ through community. And so, that's kind of what I want to dive into, right? Like, like when you started all of this, you kind of mentioned that it was for you to get friends.
Right.
And then it kind of sounded like it shifted, like the purpose behind what you were actually doing shifted a little bit to be more evangelical, right? More proclaiming of the gospel to people who didn't know him. Like, how do those two kind of work together and inform each other?
Yeah, it was interesting because, as I went on, I realized obviously I have a desire for community. I've built actually some really great friendships in this space that I still have, that are like more on the friend level, right? And not like, let's do, like I'm more of a friend level rather than like a leader level, right? And we're good friends, and I've met a lot of good friends in the space. But I realized that, my desire for community, I felt like that it was actually pretty heavy. Like, I wanted it bad. And I realized too that the Lord wasn't just placing it in me, the desire for community. Like, he was actually, it felt like a desire to bring others community eventually. When I saw how awesome it was to be surrounded by people of like-mindedness and building this community on centered around gaming, or building friendships centered around gaming, I was like, man, this is amazing. Like, more people need this. Because I can't see it anywhere else. I was very at the time, 2019, like the Christian gaming space was kind of just starting to rise a little bit. There wasn't really a whole lot of stuff going on. So like, I felt like I was really on the grassroots level of seeing it like grow. And I realized like, hey, more people need to know this. More people need community that are, gamers. Gamers have such a negative connotation about who they are, about what they do. Our hobby is like frowned upon by so many people, like so many, not even just in the church, but just in general. Like, I was like, we need to change this. Like, this whole narrative needs to absolutely change. And so I made it my sole purpose to witness to these people, because no one else is going to. And I knew there was more people doing it, but I took it on myself, being like, God, if no one else is going to do it, I'm going to go do it, because I have a heart for this. I love doing this. I see how it brings people together. I see the strong friendships that are like built. Like, some of the strongest friendships I've ever seen have been built through gaming. Yeah, truly, honestly. And I don't just say that because I'm a gamer or because like I'm in this space or being biased, but it's like, I've seen like, man, people that have been friends gaming for 4 years and they finally meet each other. And it's like, dude, it's like a powerful moment. And you're just like, it's like as if you have known each other your entire life. And now that moment of meeting IRL too, just changes like this whole, like we're friends. We're best friends for life now in this, and it started digital, but now we're IRL and like, going to conventions together. I mean, I've seen it happen before my eyes. Like, even in communities that I've built, it's like people came together and then all of a sudden they're best friends, and now they're like, I had someone like in someone's wedding that was a part of our community. All of a sudden I was like, this is insane. Like, this is so cool to see. And I just wanted people to experience that, because there's so many people that are good, solid people that feel alone because no one shares the same interests they do, which may be gaming or maybe nerd culture stuff, whether it be D&D or, anything, trading cards, something like that. There's a lot of people who feel isolated because it's like, for whatever reason, that has been frowned upon. And I wanted to say, okay, God, let's build this. Let's do something with this. And that was in the beginning stages. And I didn't, a lot of this stuff was concept in this beginning stages, from 2020, to about 2023 was very, okay, God, who do I want to be as a streamer? Like, what do I want to do in this? And also me fighting my own battles of overcoming things in my life personally, to be able to honestly step into things that God has for me that I see now, which is coming to fruition, to be honest. Yeah. And I was like, it was very conceptual. I was like, okay, God, how do we do this? Who do I want to be? Who have you called me to be in this space? Who have you called me to be in general? Do I even want to do this streaming stuff anymore? Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, God, literally, if you don't want me to do this, just like literally just send a sign or something, because this sometimes becomes more frustrating than anything. And all of a sudden God will be like, boom, here you go. And I'm like, okay, I get it, God. Let's keep going a little bit, But it just started with the desire to just want to bring the same thing to other people. Because I know if I needed it, I know the Lord was putting in other people's hearts that desired it, but maybe didn't have the desire to want to go pursue it. They needed to be pursued. And so I know there's a lot of people who are like that, who are presented, who won't pursue something unless something is presented to them. Right. And so I wanted to be that person. And, as we went forward and God opened this door, to kind of step back in the space, early in 2024, again, I started cultivating, what do I want to do, God? How do I want to do this? What do I do in this space? And there were several times where I was like, again, God, do you really want me to do this? Like, is this something you want me to do? And then all of a sudden, boom. I think the biggest thing, I went through some pretty crazy times, middle of July in 2024, and the Lord really I struggled with addiction to pornography for a long time, and God was like, you need to deal with this now. It needs to be done. You're going to ruin your entire life, and you're going to miss, you literally are going to throw everything away if you don't deal with this. And I said, all right, God, bet. So I did. Funny thing, bro, during that time, literally when God said do that, my back gets thrown out. And I'm like, I couldn't sleep on my own bed for 6 months, dude. Like, it was insane. Like, I was out. 6 months. Dude, yeah, my back was just thrown out, bro. Like, I couldn't, I stretched and everything, but I had some sort of slip disc that just wouldn't release my muscles. And I had to sit upright. I couldn't lay down. It was a wreck, dude. But in that time, I had a lot of moments to sit down with the Lord and be like, okay, God, he's developing me now. And he's like, okay, God, do I do this streaming thing still? Because I was still doing it, and there wasn't really a lot going on. I'm like, God, help me here. And again, I did a prayer, like, God, if you want me to do this, let it be so. Literally the next day, someone was like, hey, I have a second PC that I don't use that's way better than the one you're using. I'm going to give it to you. I'm like, this is going to make stream so much better. Gave me this mic too, and I have a Rode Streamer X, capture card. And I'm like, this is crazy, God. And so God he just opened this opportunity to see more people, to improve stream quality and improve what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, God, let's start doing things a little more. And then it just kind of started taking off from there. Early 2024, I started focusing more on community. I was very focused on the game side of things. I just want to play games to reach people. And there was no fruit from it. I was like, I'm just here, 2 people watching stream, and I'm just not building it. And then God was like, you need to focus on community building. And I did. And I started seeing it grow. And it just slowly over time, this is so all this stuff that we've seen happen started in early 2024 with a slow process. And then just kind of went from there. And so that's kind of long story of why I connected, why the start of it came to how it is now. And so God has just been blessing it. And it's just been an amazing thing to see.
So let's focus in on that then. Let's look at the DeadlyDill fam, right? Sure. That's your community, man. That's, regardless of what the tags are across all sorts of social media, you get the DeadlyDill fam. Yeah. That is, again, it's north of 3,500 people on Discord, hundreds of people joining you on live streams. So kind of walk us through that. Like, what are you doing with them? What does the stream look like? What's your stream schedule?
Yeah.
And then kind of what does your internal look like inside of your day to day in your Discord, right?
Right. And I probably should have expanded a little more on the last question, so I can segue from the end of that last question to this next one. But like then, today, like you said, 3.5K people in the community, and how it happened. Not a lot of people know the story of how it happened and why it happened. A lot of people were like, "Wow, this is crazy! Like, look at all these people! Like, this is insane." I'm going to be honest with you, and this is going to shock a lot of people. I did not expect this to happen. This was not the plan, at all. This was not the plan. So I had gotten to the point where, again, okay, God, do I want to do this stuff? Because I was like, I'm seeing growth, but like, it's taking a lot. Like, it wasn't taking time to where like my family's like being neglected or anything like that right now. But it takes a lot of my extra free time. Like, do I want? Is this it? Do I need to go get plugged in more and serve more at my local church if I want to feel this fulfillment of ministry? But I was like, no, like, I know this is it, but I don't know what it looks like. And I said, God, like, help me out. I need it. And he was like, you need to reach out to Christians. And I said, I haven't reached out to reaching out to Christians has not been my thing. Like, I've been wanting to like, I want to go. And he's like, has that really done anything? I said, if we've seen 70 people saved, it's like, yeah, you did, but there's more people out there that need to be saved. I was like, God, how's that going to happen if I just reach to Christians? That's not my goal. I didn't want to just create another like safe space for Christians, to be honest. And I know that sounds bad. Yeah. Okay. I didn't just want to create another space where Christians just gathered. Right. Mm-hmm. But, I said, okay, God, let's, I'm going to walk in obedience. I'm going to do it. So I made a TikTok video, just simple, like had the Force theme playing in the background, me looking out the window, drinking a cup of coffee. And I put like, sometimes as a Christian gamer, it's hard to find community. He said, but what if I told you I created I have a space for you. Right. Yeah. And, sometimes with, today, day and age with, Christian content, sometimes it, people are like, oh, maybe it gets censored and stuff like that or whatever. I'm like, I'm probably not going to get a lot of I'm not expecting anything. I'm like 50 people max are going to probably join the community from this video. Boy, was I wrong. Within a day, 1,000 people had joined the community. I said,
that's crazy.
I said, God, what are you doing? I was in panic mode, dude. Well, to be honest, though, I prepared myself to bring in a decent amount of people. Like I said, I redid the Discord. I put together onboarding, everything like that. So that way when people joined, it was a flawless experience. Okay. And I wanted to make sure, because I've learned from building a bigger community before, that I was like, I needed to have things in place. I needed to make sure that I have onboarding ready. I need to make sure things are good. And so I did that. And then 1,000 people in a day. I said, holy cow, what is happening? I was like, I need mods. You're a mod. Okay, help me out here, And it just started growing, dude. I did not expect. If you would have told me when I made that video in May that I would see this happen, I would have laughed, because there's no way, this is not possible. And it grew. And then since then we were growing we're on track to be literally growing 1,000 people a month in the server since I started.
That's ridiculous.
Insane. I don't even understand it. I don't get it. I really, truly do not get it. And now we're about to hit 3.5, and we've hit about 500 new people this month. In the server, which is crazy, and God's just been moving in such a powerful way. We've been seeing salvations. We saw 20 salvations the last 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
200 people in Bible studies, across all platforms. And that's like we have some crossover from Discord and Twitch, but we have on our Discord stage, there's 45 people on there. They're chatting, they're talking, they're wanting to chime in and talk about what we're talking about. I have 100 people on Twitch. I have another 50 on Kick, and there's some more on Twitter, and then I started Rumble too, because people are like, people would love your stuff on Rumble, and I can actually get 10 people on Rumble, and so we're getting people just engaging on this, and so Bible studies just took off crazy. We started, and this can kind of go in this next question of you segue into how we run things. I mean, again, if you told me that I was going to run a community on this high level where it's basically a ministry. It's a ministry without the title of of a ministry. But it's I mean, dude, we have 100 people who are leaders, volunteer their time into building this community. We have, the functionality of how it works is when people come in, they select the games that they want. They select, we have a whole men's and women's kind of side of the Discord as well. And they join in and they just have their games that they love. And the goal is for them to get connected. And how we get those people connected is we've actually assigned some of the bigger games game leaders. So you have people who hop in who are like, hey, I love Fortnite so much. I want to cultivate the Fortnite community inside of the Deadly fam. And so what we've people who want to get involved, like, hey, your job, your sole purpose is to make sure that Fortnite is the most well-gelled connected community ever. You're making sure the first person who joins that is constantly asking for people to play games with, you're hopping in a game with them that Friday night or something like that. Like, that's the goal of that. Like, we want everyone who hops in to feel part of it. And so, and do that instead of me just trying to do everything. Cause it's hard with 3.5K people to like be everywhere, right? And I had to learn to delegate very quickly.
It is impossible.
It's impossible.
You cannot do it,
dude. I was like, when it first started, I was like, it was like for a week straight. I had to be like, I tell my wife, I'm like, look, this is what's happening. And she's actually my wife's a part of all this too. Like, I mean, she gets involved with streams. She's involved with a lot of things too. And so it's become a family thing. Like, everyone loves what my kids are always involved with, like, stuff like, it's just amazing to see, but I was like, I need to start. I had to delegate fast, and so we have that structure. Like, we have about 50 game leaders, like ranging from people. We have 3 Minecraft servers. We have an Ark server. We have a Power World server. We have 2 Destiny 2 clans. We just filled up. We hit 100 people in our Destiny 2. One of our Destiny 2 clans. Started another one. Like, we have a 7 Days to Die server, which is a little zombie survival game. Yeah. We have clans across the a Dune Awakening server too. We have 3 WoW. Man. Like, we have, like, it's like, it's a gamer's paradise. I made sure when I saw this happen, I said, God, I don't want to just reach, like, I love Apex. Apex is going to be the game I play. Sure. I just love it. It's my favorite, but I don't want to just reach the Apex gamer, because that's just not my heart. I want to reach the masses. I'm going to make sure that when people join our Discord,
small sect of gaming, too, like Apex,
it's such
shrinking.
Yeah, it is very shrinking because people are upset at the game. But anyway, that's a topic for another time. But they're showing people, like, dude, we have 10 D&D campaigns going on right now.
That's crazy.
Like, people have been like, they're like someone like did a testimony about what the community's done for them, and they're like godly men plus the word plus D&D. What's not to love? Like, people have been so ostracized for just D&D. Like, we've reached a whole community of D&D players. And obviously there's some things in D&D that can, if you're not care, but everyone's very, very strong and like, hey, we're not going to cross that sort of line. But it's such a cool, like, it's just a cool thing to see. It's like it's so well organized. Like, we have a D&D leader who's like organizing campaigns on spreadsheets and everything like that. I'm like, dude, I didn't even ask you to do this, but people believe in this so much that people are like giving their time. And I always tell people, like, look, this isn't your job. I don't want this to become some sort of job. Like, if this is what you want to do, put as much time and effort into it as you want to, or the minimum that we need to make sure this thing runs. And then 9 times out of 10, we have people being like, we're going to do a meet and greet. We're going to do this week. We're going to make sure that we're gaming daily with these people. Like, it's just insane to see all this happen. And so we have game leaders. We have our mods. I have 2 head moderators that run our mod team and make sure that things are running smoothly. I have 2 community managers that measure the health of the community. They're putting on community events. They're doing movie nights. They're making sure that we have a calendar too. They're making sure the calendar is running smoothly so everyone knows what's going on. We have a welcome team even. I have I have 6 people on the welcome team that literally anytime someone types an introduction into our server, like, hey, welcome in. I noticed you like Minecraft. Make sure you go, hopefully if you grab the role, go make sure you plug into our Minecraft servers or something like that, right? We have a prayer and accountability team. We have a whole faith section. We have an accountability section too for people who are struggling. Hey, I'm struggling with pornography. Hey, I'm struggling with alcoholism. And we have a prayer team that goes in there and is like, hey, we're praying for you. They hop into a VC even and pray for each other. Like, it's cool to see. We have about 10 Bible studies happening weekly and bi-weekly in the server outside of mine, and they get about 20 people each. And it's been cool to see the structure. And I'm like, this is pretty wild, God, to see what you're doing. And then now we have a faith team now that's filled with people who actually have like theological background, who have degrees and like everything that can answer questions for new believers, because we've been getting a lot of new believers in. Hey, why does the Bible say this, and why does God say this, and why does it feel like it contradicts? And they're like, here's the answer. And so we have people that specifically are answering those questions for new believers or people who just don't just don't understand, who are new to their faith. And so we just established that we're about to launch about 10 small groups in October. And that small groups are going to be just 6 people who are just like getting together weekly, talking about life. We're going to have a married men's and a married women's small group. We're going to have a men's small group. And then eventually we're going to spread out into gaming small groups. Like, hey, if you're Fortnite, start a small group of 4 that you guys meet, weekly and just game together and talk about life. It doesn't have to be something big. And so there's a lot of big vision for this. There's also vision to push forward to even making it a full blown ministry. That's a talk for another time, but we got a lot of stuff that we're planning, and God is just moving in it. And it's a well-oiled machine to the point of, I'm very confident that if I'm like, tell my team, like, I need to take like a week or 2 days off from this just to focus on, they're like, we got it. I know that it's not going to fall apart. Like, God is doing something crazy, dude. I don't even get it. I'm still trying to catch up on what God is doing. And it's crazy to see. I mean, dude, like, even videos on TikTok, people are like, it's daily, bro. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, people are seeing like these videos about preaching the gospel to gamers and like different things that we're doing. And like, it's just a constant thing. Like, we're getting people in constantly. There's not a day that we don't get a new person in our server. There's not one day. And for the most part, we haven't even had to, it's a crazy thing. I think we've had to kick a couple people, but I think we've probably only had to like ban like 2 people out of the entire time of this, because people are coming together. And the beautiful part is what I love and what I really wanted to do is like blur the denominational lines. I don't care what denomination you come from. Yeah. Like, we're chilling in here. Like, we are one body, and the focus is Jesus, dude. We have the Baptist to the Pentecostal gaming together, like, and just enjoying biblical conversation, even conversations, praying for one another, like encouraging one another, like, and that's something that, to be honest, in the gaming space on the Christian side, that I haven't seen a whole lot of. I've seen a lot of division in the Christian gaming side when it comes to certain things like that. They fight more over like the theological stance than like the whole point of what we're doing, and we all have different things, but we can talk about it. Like, I don't have to agree with you on that topic if it doesn't center around my eternity with Christ, and that's the beautiful thing about what we've done with this community. We're taking it and I'm really wanting it to be, what would the church look like? And what would heaven look like, with all of us up there and being in community with one another for eternity? What is that going to look like? What is a bunch of, gamers who glorify the Lord look like? And this is what we're seeing. And we're seeing people that were atheists even too, saying like, wow, I joined because I enjoyed your content and I really enjoyed the positivity you brought and enjoyed the message you brought and actually living the message inside of your server, not just saying it on a video. And they like, can I get a Bible? Like, is there a way I can get a Bible somehow? And we've been able to give people Bibles too.
Dude, that's wild.
It's insane. And this is very organic, dude. Like, the Lord has like touched everything that we've done. Like, and I don't mean that in a boastful way, but it's just insane to see, like, let's try this. Like, any idea that we bring to the table or thought process to grow what we're doing, like, God's like, okay, cool, let's do it. Like, he's touching it. And it's just, I still, like I said, I'm playing catch up still. Like, one of my head mods is like basically like helping me with admin and being like, hey, you still need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's still more to do. Like, I did so much yesterday, and a lot of that too. I mean, a lot of what we do is through Discord. I do stream. I stream probably like, 4 days a week, sometimes 5, depending. I'll do like a midday stream or something like that and just do it just chatting. But a lot of it is just to build community. Like, I play Apex a lot of times, but like, I mean, I ripped American Truck Simulator, which we're not going to play the VOD for that. That was a little hectic. I was like, do not give this man a CDL, please. I was like, do not give this man a CDL. You're a terrible driver. All right. Yes. You're not very good. Yes, this is why. I have my wife drive most of the time. Anyway, but yeah, we just play and we do a lot of Bible stuff too. I make sure that we dive in the Word every stream. To be honest, like, even if it's not a full blown like Bible study, I make sure, hey, let's talk about the Lord. Let's talk about what God's doing. Let's talk about the verse of the day. I don't care what it is. I want to make sure God really convicted me of this. Like, even as we were building this, like, you need to make sure that if you're gonna glorify my name, you're gonna draw people into me. You need to make sure that you pour into these people. Even if they have a pastor they go to or a local church, like, I would tell them, please keep going. I'm not your pastor. I'm just a guy that the Lord's blessed with a microphone and an ability to create community, go to church. But I felt almost the obligation to be like, I still need to point them to Christ, even if they're solid believers. I want to make sure, hey, maybe they didn't get a chance to go to church this week, or maybe they missed a small group, or maybe it's been a hard day, and they just need that reinforcement, And so we do that, and we make sure that people get fed. And another thing that we do is we're actually trying to bridge the gap between digital and IRL. Anytime someone joins a server, they have the ability to choose a state role. And so we're connecting people via state, and we actually got a couple meetups that are about to happen on their own, which is really cool to see. People are just wanting to build friendships, and we're planning on trying to do like a Deadly Fam Con in like 2026 in Texas. That's our goal. Yeah, we're trying to. It'd be end of the year, but into 2026. But there's a lot of people like, we want to meet, we want to come out, we want to do this thing. I'm like, I think I have the spot that we can do it. My church is very open about like reaching people and doing stuff like that. So I was like, I think we got a spot. We'll see what happens. But people are wanting it. They don't just desire just to be behind a screen with each other. They built friendship so strong. They're like, we want to meet. We want to do life. We want to worship together. We want to like do life together. We want to grab food together. We just like, because I think that's one of the biggest cries that we've had in the community is like, I wish you guys were in person. Like, I want to be with y'all. I want to have community. Like, it's so cool to see that desire where it's not just like, like online people. No, it's like we've built genuine friendships. Like our VCs are filled every day. Oh yeah. Like, it's just insane to see. And so we do that. We want people to connect IRL. Like, we're trying to bridge that. We want to be the biggest community in the Christian space digitally and IRL, like to the point where it just spreads. Like I had some people that actually live down the street from me that joined the server that I didn't know that lived next to me. And we grabbed coffee the other day. I invited a guy who lives like 20 minutes away from me to my church, and he started going like this is, and this is what I wanted. I wanted that kind of stuff. I wanted people to join, to be like, oh man, I live there too. Like you're trying to find a church, like come to my church, let's meet up and let's, like I wanted that. I want that desire for people to get plugged in the church, get plugged in with community IRL too, but also come back to a space where it's like, hey, if your church doesn't have small groups, we got them for you. If your church doesn't have Bible studies weekly that you want to get involved in, we got them for you. I'm not trying to replace the church. I'm trying to come side by side, and I'm trying to be like, exactly. I want to be something that comes side by side, even elevates what you have too, if I need to. Like if you don't have a church home yet, hey, Monday night Bible studies, we're diving in. Yep. Like you need a word, you need to get fed, like in a congregational setting, I got you. We're trying to make sure that anytime someone hops in, that they're getting fed, number one, and they're having an ability to grow with their relationship with God. And number two, they're able to build community. And that's the biggest heart behind it. And also getting people plugged into local churches. We want people to be plugged into somewhere they can grow and thrive IRL too, because I think that's just as important as having community digitally too. I mean, it's so important IRL, and yeah, I mean, that's a lot, but man, the Lord's just doing something again, like I said, I still don't understand it. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, God, there's people who literally message me saying their marriage has been restored since they joined the community. I'm like, what? Like
that's the opposite of what video games are supposed to do, right? Aren't they supposed to destroy relationships?
Right, exactly. It's like literally I had a wife message me being like, since my husband's joined your community and been getting involved and stuff like that, he's become the leader of the home that he's always wanted to be, and we're going to church again. He's leading our kids. I'm like, what? Like that's crazy. And then I have just about like, a handful of people that have been like free from pornography for like, since they joined the server. They're like, you told your story. You know what? I want to be free now. Yeah. And like some of them are celebrating 3 months free since they joined the server. I'm like, this is crazy. Like we're seeing actual ministry happen inside of this community daily. Like every day something's happening, and it baffles me still. And I'm like, Lord, I need some strength to continue doing this, because this is a big thing, especially if we're hitting about 4,000. I think end of year, to be honest, is how things are going. We could hit about 7,000, 8,000 people end of year in this community.
You're smash through the ceiling of where you are now. You're the opposite of a dead server, right? Yeah. And anybody who hangs around online knows. Yep. We, even at Love Thy Nerd, we have experienced kind of the lull in the server. We had the big boom. We had the, massive, bubble, but we didn't have the legs to keep it going. And when we started LTN, I was the community manager. And so I know what it takes to continue. So all these things that you're saying, I'm like, yes, absolutely, freaking lootly, man. Like, I love this. And so my thing we've got to wrap this up. We're going to have you back, dude, to talk more and like dive into this stuff. But I will say this, that for anybody that wants to learn more about this stuff, or if you're not a believer and you've been hearing about all these things and you're looking for hope, you're looking for, some sort of what we would call, in the Christian community, like deliverance. If you're looking for some sort of reprieve from like the weight of stuff that's hanging over you because of the people that you hang out with or the community that you do or don't have, Christian community, when done properly, fixes so many of those things, right? Sometimes with a Band-Aid, sometimes with plaster. So just, your mileage may vary on it. But I will encourage you guys to go and hang out with the DeadlyDill fam, whether it's on Twitch or in Discord, which I believe that the real true community happens in Discord. And it leads to other really great things. Twitch is great. Do not get me wrong about streaming platforms, but I think that the asynchronous communication, reply when you can, and when you can, you're there 1,000%, right? Like that kind of a thing. I also loved that you said that you use, while you're streaming to Twitch, you also use your Discord stage. I love that. I absolutely love that. Streaming into Discord while you're also streaming live on oh my gosh, dude, like nobody is talking about that. That's it's smart.
It helps. Smart. It helps because then what it does is it gets people who just want to watch and just want to type. They're there, but people who want to hop in, like I give opportunity, like, hey, here's the questions. Who wants to hop on and talk? Share your testimony. Share what's the Lord speaking to you in this. And we have some people that are just like, you need to take over. Like, here you go. I'm like, you run the Bible study now, And
when you have almost, over 3,000, almost 4,000 people, whatever your number is going to be, why would you not reach into the largest space where you have, it just doesn't make any sense to not do that. So we'll get into all that later, right? Like we're going to come back and do another episode next season with Dylan, and we'll hop in. But I will say this to you guys, the same thing as I said at the beginning of the show, Love Thy Nerd is going to contract Dylan for, his services to say, hey man, what do you see about our community? What could help? What could grow? Again, I'm a community guy at heart, but for us to be able to say, hey, well, I don't know everything and I can't pretend to know everything. My time in the game does not overshadow the effectiveness that we have or don't have in a certain area. And if somebody else is doing it well, we need to be able to like let our ego take a back seat and go, Dylan's doing it better. How do we catch some of that lightning in a bottle? And so we're going to have all of the stuff in the show notes of where you guys can get to him on X, where you can join his Discord server, where you can, be a part of his Twitch community, like all that stuff. But before we close out here, Dylan, we want to wrap up and say, if you could go back in time and talk to little baby Dylan, okay, you pick the time frame, you pick the age to help prepare him for what God was going to do in your life, right? Like what would you go back and what would you say?
Oh man, that's you told me this. I know you said this in the beginning, but I'm like, and I was supposed to be thinking for that question. I'm like, man, what would I say? One of the things that I would have hopefully, as far as like working on how my relationship with God is trying not to feel like I had to, like I have nothing to prove to the Lord, and I think that hindered me for a long time, where I was trying to do things on my own. Especially even in the gaming space of trying to do the streaming stuff. I was really trying to like just do it, and then just doing it in my own power and doing it in my own will and doing it, try to almost show God that I'm worthy to be used. And that was a hard thing for me to like, and to be honest, I didn't break free of that until literally right before this thing blew up. Like the Lord really had to break me down with a lot of this. And that, and then also just like knowing that, because there's a lot of times where I was like, God, I want to go in this space, but I kept second guessing myself. I started, I totally forgot about this, but Periscope. I don't know if you remember Periscope.
Oh my gosh, RIP Periscope.
Right, R.I.P. But dude, I forgot. I had a roommate of mine message me. It's like, hey, do you remember when you used to do this? I guess I forgot about it. I ran Bible studies on Periscope for like 50 people would show
Okay.
up. I did it after every Wednesday night youth group, and I went over what we talked about at youth. And I was like, I totally forgot about that. And then just kind of died down because I had a lot of people just being like, no, you need to be a pastor and blah, blah. And the digital space wasn't real. It was just starting to kind of, live stream was starting to kind of pop up in like 2012 and 2013 and 2015 and stuff like that. But I wish I would have more so listened to what the Lord was directing me to rather than what man was telling me to do.
Oh yeah.
And that was and I know, and after everything that's happened, being a youth pastor, stuff like that, I have no regrets doing that. The Lord's taught me a lot of things, and I think God allowed that to happen. So that way I could learn I'm basically running this thing like a church, now about my thought process. But I think one of the biggest thing is trusting God more and learn to trust in God more earlier on. And then listen to the voice, like knowing that I, heard learning to follow the voice of God more than listening to what man has to say or second guessing myself all the time. And so those are big hindrances growing up. But I think those are the biggest things that I would have gone back in time and just been like, hey, know who you are, know who God is, now go do. Like that would be the biggest thing.
Good, man. I mean, I'm constantly telling people, stop waiting for somebody to give you permission to do the thing that God is calling you to do. You gotta go. Need permission from anybody else. It's good when you have affirmation, but you don't need the permission. So,
and it's good to seek wisdom too. It's always good to seek wisdom. However, if God is speaking to you to do it, no earthly wisdom can compare to the infinite wisdom the Lord is trying to direct you to do, even if it doesn't make sense. Go do it.
Yeah,
go
people
do
are
it
not going to understand. Those are some of the the longest conversations that I have with believers and unbelievers are, why did God say to do this? That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, well, I don't. How do I explain when Isaiah says that his ways are higher than our ways? Like, how do I explain that to you? Like, unless you have experienced the benefit of following one of those ridiculous ideas, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, God's ways are higher than ours, and I always think the Isaiah one's good. I always think of Job when God's like, "Were you there when I formed the earth? Were you there when I did this?" I'm like, "I'm but a worm, Lord. I wasn't there for any of that." You're right. Yeah. I get it, God. I get it. But yeah, 100%.
Dude, well, hey, Dylan, thank you so much, man, for spending some time with us. We're going to wrap this show up. If anybody is interested in kind of learning more about it, like I said, we're going to have all of his links in the show notes, but you can go to discord.gg/deadlyfam, just exactly like it's spelled, DeadlyFam. That'll get you straight there. And it is DeadlyDill Gaming on Twitch. But we'll have all those information, all those links, backlinks, forward links, uplinks, downlinks in the show notes. But we want to let you know that if you want to get educated, if you want to lean into how to take your idea and turn it into something that has legs, join us. Like Dylan was saying, man, getting together and being with nerds shoulder to shoulder is important, right? Like especially people that are doing things in the faith space for the cause of Christ. Join us in April of 2026 at Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs. Come out and be a part of NCMS 2026 as we move onward. Registration is open right now. You can go to ncmsummit.com and register, and we want you to be there. You get to stay at a castle. If we still have rooms available, you can stay at a castle. You can hear from great speakers. You can rub shoulders with people that are moving in the same direction as you, which is forward for the cause of Christ in nerd culture. And if you have any questions about it whatsoever, let me know. I'd love to talk to you about it. Or you can send us a message on our Discord or any of the social spaces that you may find us. Please make sure that you head on over to ncmsummit.com. We'd love to see you in April of 2026 for NCMS. Dylan, thank you again so much for being a part of this. I'm glad we finally got to do it.
Yes,
and now we got to do another one. It's your fault.
We do. We have to do another. I know. So I'm long-winded. I'm sorry.
Well, you pastors, man. Am I right?
You're right, dude.
Right,
just give me 5 more minutes, bro.
Podcasts. I don't know.
5 more minutes and we'll wrap it up, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, we're going to get out of here, but if no one else tells you, just remember it's true. Jesus loves you, nerds.